The PBA 50th season is almost underway, and here to talk about the exciting things to look out for is our very own Diego Dario. Diego, welcome back to the show with that side of the couch. Okay, there are many storylines, obviously, as we lead up to the PBA's 50th season. It's going to be a big season, which begins October 5, am I correct? Can you say, Diego, that the biggest story has to be Magnolia and LA Tenorio?
Well, it has to be. It has to be Magnolia. I mean, all of a sudden, from a player, he's going to become a coach now for Magnolia. And it's going to be his first year, first conference as a head coach right away for a PBA team. You know, he's not the usual head coach wherein he was an assistant coach first. And then from a player straight to a head coach. I don't think we've seen a lot of this kind of setup. But then I think he's also the perfect guy to do it. I mean, LA Tenorio is a legend, a point guard. They call him the general, right? But now he's trying to coach this young team with a bunch of veterans as well. And I think they're going to be contenders this conference.
Right away.
Right away, that's for sure. Right away.
And obviously, the players of Magnolia are lucky to have him having that experience also of coaching Batang Gilas. Pero, swerte rin siya because he's got a young core that's ready to give it their all. May mga players na tayong aabangan. And one of the recent signings pa na maglalaro next season.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, sobrang iba yung you're coaching a young team, like an under-16 team. Because you're gonna teach, you're gonna develop, you're gonna teach the fundamentals. But here in the pros, you don't really teach a lot. You know, you just put in the guys, you put in a system and see if it works. And I think Coach LA will try to do what he's been doing comfortably before in under-16 in Ginebra. A little bit of triangle here and there, that's for sure. But then he's probably going to have his own identity. But let's talk about the players.
Sige.
Javi Gomez-Deliano just signed. He's played in the KBL, now he's going to play here in the PBA. Shot 45% from 3 in Korea. So you have a sniper already in your young core. You have Jerome Lastimosa and Peter Alfaro, 2 point guards who are, you know, just signed, I think, a 2-3 year deal. So Coach LA is looking at the future now because he's signing these young guys to long-term deals. And then you have Zave Lucero, who's averaging 18 points per game and almost 8 rebounds. A breakout season for him last season. So in terms of the young core, they're set. But kakalimutan ng iba, they still have the vets. They still have Mark Baroka, Paul Lee, Ian Sangalang to try and teach and try to, you know, guide these young core. And usually, yun yung medyo, I'll say, perfect, I guess, balance when it comes to contenders and championship teams. A balance of the vets and a balance of good young talent.
Why am I so excited with the LA Tenorio, Jerome Lastimosa in one sentence? How do we see that dynamic? And I'm getting flashes of the way they played when LA played in college, and obviously Jerome, di ba? Parang ngayon ko nakikita. Do you imagine this combination?
Hey, I see the same thing. I mean, Jerome Lastimosa reminds me of a young LA in terms of like the way they attack the paint, the way they finish around the big men. But then you can also see the side of Jerome where he's a setup guy. He knows how to set up his teammates. And I think Coach LA will have fun in trying to, you know, have certain plays wherein Jerome Lastimosa will succeed. Because we've seen that Jerome can be effective even in the pros.
Mark Baroka pa siya as a mentor.
Wow, if I'm Jerome Lastimosa, I'll just like keep absorbing everything.
Soak it in.
We're looking forward to that dynamic. But speaking of vets leading a young team, meron pa isang team in the PBA, Rain or Shine Elasto Painters, of course. Coach Xiang Giao has built that team from the ground up, really drafting the players that suit his system. But meron din silang bagong player, Stanley Pringle, who is ready to lead a young team of Coach Xiang.
Well, vets are so important in any team. I mean, Coach Xiang Giao has done a great job of building this young team, young core in, you know, Andre Caracut, Anton Asistio, Gian Mamuyak, guys like Santi Santillan. But then they had their vets in Bo Belga and Coach Gabe Norwood. I'm not sure if Gabe is still going to be playing, but when you put in a guy like Stanley Pringle, that's a guard veteran, right? That's what kind of what they needed in the past conferences wherein they lost in the semis and the playoffs because, you know, the guards have to kind of take over in the playoffs. Sometimes that's what you have to do in the playoffs, and Stan the Man is that guy. He might not be the guy that's doing it, but he can be the one guiding these young guards of rain or shine when it comes to playoffs.
Is he taking over this team?
I think in terms of his ego, he's done in that stage. He's parang tapos na siya sa stage na yun wherein he wants to be the main guy. Because, from Ginebra, he went back to Terra Firma. And then now, of course, Rainer
played
Shine.
well, di ba?
He played well. Still played 30 minutes a game.
Yeah.
But Rainer Shine gave him a chance. And I think the setup will be kind of guide these guys. You're still going to play, but I don't think he's going to play 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No one really plays 30 minutes under Coach Chiang Yao, right? So I think it just doesn't make sense if you're going to put Stanley Pringle 30 minutes a game and then you have 3 guards at the bench waiting for their turn, right? They're already developing. They're like on the way up already. So I think it's going to be a balance of stand the man. Kung mainit, go ahead. But if, he's still going to be the guidance for these young guys.
Who else? Who else are we looking out for in this team, Diego?
Well, I'd say the guards, of course, Adrian Nokum. I think he's going to learn a lot from Stan the Man because,
right?
as we mentioned, Jerome and LA, parang I see kind of the same with Adrian Nokum. Explosive, has the spin move, diba? Very entertaining and strong as well. So it's going to be very interesting.
Sabi nga ni Coach Chieng, di ba? Dumadami yung fans dahil Rainer Shine elastopogi na di ba? Yung nagiging team nila eh. Speaking of another team, ito, mostly mga bata, not really a lot of vets to look up to, but Converge Fiber Xers, they're a team that's also exciting to watch, especially with their draft acquisition nitong nakaraan.
Yeah, of course. I like what they're doing with this team. They're, getting a lot of talent. So they just drafted one GDL who I've seen in the tune-up games. He's ready for the pro. I mean, he's more than ready for the PBA after his stints in Korea, in Lithuania, in Japan as well. He's come home here and he's at home. When you see him play, and we haven't seen him in an actual game, but I've seen the tune-up games. He's at home. He's comfortable. He has that swag back again, and that's going to be very exciting for Converge. And I think Converge also aligns with one when it comes to they want to win a championship. They're not just here to compete and participate. They want to win a championship. And add to that, they have guys like Alex Stockton, Justin Arana, Shawnee Winston.
Yeah.
They have a squad, and they have Balti Baltazar as well. So coming into an all-Filipino cup, you have 2 solid bigs and then 3 solid wings and guards. I mean, that's a tough lineup if you ask me.
Does he have something to prove here, JDL?
I think so. I've talked to him a couple of times.
Yeah,
as
that's
well,
why I'm
of course.
asking
Yeah,
you. You're close to him and all that.
He's saying, he's learning. I mean, he's loving basketball again because, of course, his stints in Korea and Japan, he didn't really have a lot of playing time, and now he's getting that love back. But at the same time, he's getting the confidence back with a different mindset, knowing that, nothing is really given. He's trying to earn everything. Like, he's coming into the PBA as a rookie and not like, I'm the man right away. But Converge has been winning their tune-up games. And one also told me, kung sino yung mainit, usually they give way to each other. No, walang swapangan when it comes to the young core. And I think that's a good sign for Converge. If Alex Stockton mainit, they give it to Alex Stockton. If Shawnee Winston's getting it going, they're giving the ball to them.
That's been their system, all throughout since they joined the PBA, just making sure that everyone gets a chance, and then kung sino mainit, sabi mo nga, yun
Exactly.
yung naglalaro until the end. Let's talk about more prospects, done with one GDL, but there are 2 other guys, of course, part of the top 3. I think you got to chat also with Gio Chu when he got drafted. What are we expecting from those guys and Dalf Panopio in Blackpool?
He was here also on the show.
That's right. Gio Chu, I don't think he's gonna play yet. But I think
he has to finish.
He has to finish his season and his contract.
Right.
But I think when he gets into the PBA, he's definitely gonna have a lot of playing time, a lot of exposure in a Terra Firma team. And he mentioned to us, me and Boom, that they're there to compete. They want to win.
Yeah.
And I think Gio Chu, he's like 6'10". Where do you get a 6'10" guy in an all-Filipino cup? So for sure, he's gonna get playing time. Let's talk about Dalf Panopio. But I've seen the tune-up game against Meralco, and it's everywhere. I think he hit the game winner, and then he made a game-winning block. So that just goes to show what kind of player Dalf Panopio is. He's a 2-way player, a very smart player, can shoot from the outside, a great pick-and-roll player. And he's with a Blackwater team that's they're keeping the score. They haven't traded a lot of pieces in recent, memory. So they're trying to get wins here with Dalf Panopio leading at the
As a last question, are the legacy teams going to have a tougher time in this 50th season? We know what we're talking about, the SMBs. the TNTs and all of that.
I'd say so. I think
Debra and everybody.
I think this PBA 50th season, I don't think there's a sure contender right away. We're gonna see in the season, that's for sure. But I think we're in a transition wherein we're seeing the young stars peaking, and then the current stars, I'd say older stars, are still playing at a high level.
Right.
So we're seeing a lot of
catch
talent.
up now.
There's a catch up now from the young guys, and the young guys are not just in one team. They're scattered on all the different teams, and they're peaking at the right time. So, a lot of talent in the PBA right now.
And exciting as we lead up to the opening on the 5th of October for PBA 50. Diego, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you,
will be
guys.
back to talk more about PBA as we lead up to that big opening day.